DC holds claim to countless iterations of the Wayne family legacy, dating back to the late 40s first real serials. But it was 1992's Batman the Animated Series, a certified cartoon classic, that illustrated the denizens of Gotham and Metropolis larger than even its movies could. Hey everyone, I'm Adrian with Channel Frederator, bringing you a 25-year retrospective of the Cape Crusaders animated adventures, comparing all the gadgets, Batmobiles, mysteries, and Gotham loons in Then vs. Now, Batman the Animated Series. 3 months after Tim Burton's Batman Returns hit theaters, a Fox Kids premiere became the origin story of what is now known as the DCAU, also known as DC's Animated Universe. But Bruce would come to outgrow his role as the Dark Knight and pass his responsibilities onto apprentices like Robin and Batgirl in New Adventures, and Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond. As the DC Animated Universe unraveled into non-canonical territory, Batman, along with his villains and partners, would be retooled in recurring waves, for Kids WB's The Batman, and then Cartoon Network's team-up series, Batman, the Brave and the Bold. But let's go back to the beginning, the DC Animated Universe's first big changes. Plenty has been said about Batman the Animated Series, and it's still probably not enough. The series was a rare achievement in both style and substance, led by a sure-fast team as Paul Dini's excellent writing explored depths of a city out of balance, while Bruce Timm's retro-futurist visuals managed to capture the adventurous spirit of the 30s and 40s serials and Fleischer cartoons. It's a big city netherworld that exists onto itself, which is perfect for the iconic and immortal appeal of Batman himself. The series also firmly established actor Kevin Conroy as the voice of both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Conroy conveyed menace and pathos in his performance. It seemed an easy choice to have Conroy continue as Batman in the subsequent DCAU series, Superman the Animated Series, as well as Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, as both a guest and a regular. Batman the Animated Series became a critical and commercial success. The reimagined version of Mr. Freeze not only won an Emmy, but it overwrote the source material and has since been adapted by the DC Comics and Schumacher's Batman and Robin. Then, as must happen to every franchise eventually, canon was reset. With a new series premiering in 2004, WB knew it had to capture an icon under new light, and did so thanks to Andrea Romano, who did voice direction in both The Batman and Batman the Animated Series. If the essence of a mystery is uncovering the past, Kids WB's series sought to recharacterize Gotham's character entirely. Most every villain was redesigned completely to avoid any immediate visual association with its predecessor, and storylines were reinterpreted for the youth of the time who were listening to My Chemical Romance and Linkin Park. Although it's not even close to being a fan favorite, the psychological despair of the Batman gets as cerebral as the best Batman the Animated Series had to offer. The Batman episode Seconds is a high-concept tearjerker, while The Laughing Bat is a great play on the Joker's psychological foil to Bruce. Joker's alter ego in that episode even resembles Clark Kent. Spooky. In addition, Reno Romano voices the titular Bat this time around, leaving behind the rasp of Kevin Conroy. New tone. It's tough to compare either the Timverse or the Batman, which are both peak era dramatic, to the gleeful love letter that is Batman, the Brave and the Bold. A send-up of the classic Saturday morning 60s animation series Super Friends, and an adaptation of a comic series by the same name, The Brave and the Bold is a really silly show to watch. Drawn in bold 50s geometry and animated with the Warner Brothers vibrance of old, the show mostly landed. How so? Well, it threw in a lot of fan service to comic readers and treated the source material with respect, while amping up the fun. Myth building goes completely off the rails when compared to past iterations, and Batman takes a backseat to the larger DC context around him in a self-aware meta shrug similar to this year's Lego Batman, interrelated across canons. This isn't to say that the Brave and the Bold ignored Gotham's shadows. Some of the most faithful comic translations appear in this series, the show's depiction of Thomas and Martha Wayne's death, or the episode The Lost Patrol, both of which take the series into dark territory thematically, with slight shifts to allow the series to maintain the levity in the long run. There are some deaths in The Brave and the Bold that are too devastating to spoil here. It's really important to note just how much of an impact 1992's Batman the Animated Series had on the world of animation itself. The often heartbreaking storytelling addresses issues of identity and trauma, and showed viewers that a cartoon could tell stories just as impactful and nuanced as those in primetime dramas. No matter the redesign, the initial soulful seed remained, as reflected by the following series, Batman Beyond. Action sequences. All you need to know about the action in Batman the Animated Series can be found in its intro sequence. When there's violence, it's done in a style of a patient, suspenseful noir. Once the revered Bruce Timm and his colleagues were through with the animated TV adventures, Bruce Wayne and his lair were handed over to Jackie Chan Adventures artist Jeff Matsuda, a producer, art director, and the chief character designer of the show, and creators Michael Goguen and Dwayne Capizzi, with an intention to create a new benchmark for animated action adventures. 4 years after the end of this run, Warner Brothers decided to try and reboot the franchise, setting Batman Beyond more than 40 years in the future, with a teen movie twist. In 2050, an athletic high school named Terry McGinnis, voiced by Will Friedle, gets into trouble with a gang of Joker-idolized thugs called the Jokers, and meets Bruce while fighting off the gang. Terry discovers the Batcave and borrows a high-tech batsuit. Bruce takes on the Bat-Dad role like Yoda to Luke, comfy at home, eager to train his Padawan. Batman Beyond has a sleek mix of sleuthing between homework assignments and fast-paced action, pitting Terry against a creative cast of neo-Gotham villains villains for Batman to battle. In a way, Batman Beyond's action scenes preclude the martial arts choreography of the Batman. The Batman depicts a younger hero meeting his foes for the first time. It's mostly geared towards children, who probably won't mind the various batsuits and gadgets and boisterous action scenes that can go fist to toe with any of Jackie Chan's animated brawls. The Batman trades a focus on themes for thrills. For example, instead of the Timverse's ecologically minded counterpart, the Batman's Catwoman is an adrenaline junkie. Her three-way scuffle with Batman and Ragdoll and the mechanisms of a clock tower is one of the best action sequences in the whole series. Hey guys, we're taking a small break from Then vs. Now Batman to talk about more Batman, specifically the World's Finest Collection box by CultureFly. You know, the guys who made the Nick box. So what is the World's Finest Collection? It is a new subscription box that focuses on DC superheroes, and it comes seasonally. So every season you get a new DC superhero. This season is Batman. And what do you get? Well, check out this mug, this vinyl, this umbrella that looks like a grappling hook. I thought it was a grappling hook, I'm sorry guys. And these push pins, these Batarang push pins that you could stick on the wall and make it look like you threw a Batarang at the wall. The greatest part is, these items are all exclusive to the box and are created by the team at CultureFly, so you're not going to get it anywhere else. So if you're interested in the box, you can check the link in the description down below. You can support us, you can support the pals at CultureFly, and they'll create more boxes. Now, back to Then vs. Now Batman. Animation. The animation throughout the Batman is more consistent than that of the 1992 series. While episodes by Tokyo Movie Shinsha were routinely gorgeous, such as the episodes On Leather Wings and Feet of Clay Part 2, which were incredible, most of the episodes in Batman the Animated Series weren't done by them. They were outsourced to half a dozen studios with varying styles, as evident in irregular elastic character movements. I mean, try sitting through Day of the Samurai. Others are a bit more dull and offer no personality beyond the dark deco design to catch the eye. Instances of downright odd animation were rare, but they still happened from time to time. For example, look at the scene where Batman chases Two-Face down a hallway in Two-Face Part 2. You'll see it. Now complain all you want about Jeff Matsuda's unorthodox character redesigns, but the Batman's quality of animation between episode 1 and episode 65 was not only consistent, but it was consistently good, animated from start to finish by a single solitary studio, Dongbu, one of the most popular animation studios in Korea. They also animated our very own Bravest Warriors. Cartoon Network's follow-up series, The Brave and the Bold, untethered the Batverse to any sort of realism, with Batman unsheathing a laser sword from his utility belt, breathing in space without any gadgets, and dying multiple deaths in one episode. Combined with the new style of animation, the result was a vivid recollection of 60s team-up issues, sidekicks. Unfortunately, Batman the Animated Series really didn't do the most that they could have with the relationship between Batgirl and Robin. When Barbara was initially introduced in the series, she hardly interacted with Dick Grayson at all, besides going to the same college and being unaware of each other's secret identities. Barbara was only in 3 episodes before the series was rebranded as The New Batman Adventures. She became a major character by then, but Grayson had become Nightwing at that point and abandoned the Bat family. Most of Batgirl's best moments were in solo adventures with Batman. The rebranded WB years as The New Batman Adventures went to great lengths in exploring the frustrations of working under Batman's tutelage. Tim Drake's burden as Boy Wonder was depicted in episodes such as Growing Pains, a Lewis Carroll allegory trip where Robin helps a young girl named Annie piece back together her memory, only for the two of them to fall down a pipe. In the water, Annie dissolves and she remembers who she used to be, part of the ever work in progress Clayface, sent into Gotham to examine it. Robin insists that she can be saved, but Clayface chases them down. When he absorbs Annie, it hits Tim like the death of a friend. Due to Teen Titans being on the air in the same period, who had Robin as a founding member, the Batman was limited by a sort of Robin embargo, and the character wasn't available to the team until season 4, so they introduced Batgirl as Batman's first sidekick. Robin would join the Batman a season later when Teen Titans ended. Introducing Batman's sidekicks in reverse order actually enhanced their dynamic in the series. Batgirl was Batman's first sidekick, but then Robin shows up as Batman's adopted son, and now there's a big competition between the two. Their verbal combo spats are fun, and watching them pester each other and heckle the henchmen and villains of the series, it's genuinely amusing. Way more amusing than Robin's lone wisecracks. The bit where they annoy Black Mask off by trying to guess how ugly his face is definitely one to check out. The Brave and the Bold actually shares this sense of character development, with Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing over a series of non-related adventures. However, its free-flowing association of Batman mythology isn't structured enough for the usual combination of sidekicks, and is instead a smaller figure in a crowd of colorful kooks. Ensemble teams. As the DC animated universe, overseen by producer Bruce Timm, evolved throughout the 90s, it was inevitable that a team show would eventually be made, and in 2001, the excellent Justice League debuted on Cartoon Network to great critical and fan response. Batman was naturally included in the lineup of founding members, alongside heroes like Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, Flash, and Hawkgirl. Voice actor and fan favorite Kevin Conroy returned from the earlier Timm shows to bring the Caped Crusader to auditory life on Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. He was the only mere mortal in the starting Justice League lineup, holding his own with literal gods. In this Justice League expansion of the Timverse, Batman develops a quasi-romantic relationship with Wonder Woman in this series, an echo of Bruce's first animated romance in 1993's feature film Mask of the Phantasm. He also gets the opportunity to battle cosmic threats that were unexplored as of yet in the DC animated universe, and warps his own reality. Examples are time traveling, including to Batman Beyond's time, giving that series a posthumous finale, fighting space aliens, and getting turned into a gorilla. One episode of the increasingly trippy The Brave and the Bold, called Knights of Tomorrow, flashes forward to a grave of an alternate future where Bruce has retired and Dick has taken on the role of Batman. Dick Grayson managed to save Damian Wayne at a museum ambush orchestrated by Joker's son, JJ. Unfortunately, the explosion kills Bruce and Selina Kyle in front of their son. If you've seen Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, you know the twisted Timverse side of JJ's story. The Brave and the Bold prides itself on Batman's seemingly bottomless cavern of characters and meta gags, and it should. From the episode where Superman's kind of a jerk, a reference to Japanese Batman, to the 70s Wonder Woman theme, and to holy what, teaming up with Space Ghost? The Brave and the Bold has a charming recklessness to it. The show goes where we can only imagine. Case in point, Gray and Blue, Rainbow Batman, that interesting Birds of Prey song, and of course, the singing Aquaman who punches a comet. A comet! It helps that he's voiced by John DiMaggio, who hams up Aquaman's charismatic personality. The Brave and the Bold also boasts a fearless Lois Lane, and a design for Catwoman's costume that's noir Gotham fab. The thread throughout each series. The obscure characters in The Brave and the Bold feel like a treat, and they make for a stark juxtaposition with previous iterations. A breath of fresh air for audiences bored with Hot Topic. Here's a Batman who has fun with his job, and has actual relationships with the other heroes in the DC universe, beyond the constant grumpiness with decent guy tucked deep down Batman we've always had before this. Throughout the years, it's interesting to see the varied interpretations of Gotham's archetypes as each franchise reaches for their own brand of innovation. Every animated Batman series has done a phenomenal job of communicating the world that would create and mold Bruce Wayne. There you have it, I'm Adrian, and for now, we'll switch off the bat signal here at Channel Frederator. Don't forget to be vigilant, always contemplative, and on your toes. Let us know which trip down memory lane you'd like to take next in the comments below. Don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. We have videos dropping every day, so make sure to subscribe, because remember, Frederator loves you.